This is Rockslapping Champions. Player 1, playing Stetman, we have Punisher. And player 2, playing Vorazun, we have Sato. So let's have a look at the masters while the players do get set up. We have Stetman, which is a level 1000 Ascension Commander, going for the Gary ability cooldown upgrade. We have the Stet Zone bonuses, and then we have a 15-15 split into the Stetman Stetlight cooldown mastery, as well as the Morph Rate and Evolution mastery here, which are pretty much the optimal selections for Stetman. I'm not sure if there's a breakpoint over here. Usually you go for one or the other, but I'm not really sure about that. I usually go for full Morph Rate, but I'm not. It really depends if there's a reason why to go for the Stetlight cooldown. But we have Vorazun, who's gone for the Dark Pylon range, the Shadow Guard duration, and the Spear of Adun energy mastery. Now, recently, there was a change to the recommendations for the masteries for Vorazun, and the Shadow Guard duration and the Spear of Adun energy mastery are actually the better choices here, because they allow they basically support Vorazun for the early stage of the game while she gets the rest of her army up and running. And we have the Dark Pylon range, which is usually not recommended. You want to go with Black Hole duration instead, because that'll allow you to disable Amon's armies a little bit longer and get a little bit more value out of your army. But we'll see what the plan is for Vorazun. Vorazun is already ready to use a Shadow Guard, I'm assuming, to take out her expansion, which is a good idea. We have a bunch of probes that are exploring over here. It's just a little bit more time before she will have that available. And I think, yeah, there we go. So we have the Dark Templars out now, ready to take the expansion, and in time also to deal with the first attack wave. We already have a Cybernetics core out for Vorazun. Stetman has cleared his expansion, still no expansion put down though, and Stetman is, I think, producing more drones? Yeah, there are just a few more drones that are coming out here, and now we have a Dark Pylon as well for Vorazun. Dark Templar is not really going to be doing anything just yet, and we can see that we are dealing with an Air Terran composition. These Vikings are going to start aggroing Stetman's Steadlights, and unfortunately these Dark Templars not really going to get a lot of good value for it. There are a bunch of Zerglings here. These Zerglings will be more than happy to start nibbling down and chomping down onto these Vikings over here, and the blink from the Dark Templars as well to help the ally out. There is one more Viking that's going to try and attack the Dark Pylon in this location, but that ends up getting cleared out as well, and now these Dark Templars should be going towards Amon's camps here to try and clear some of the units out in this location. We have Gary out as well. Still no Super Gary out for Stetman. Super Gary is very, very important in getting that extra power level, and you can see here we have the Super Gary out as well. We have the Stet Zones there. Still no expansion there for Stetman. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. The expansion gets put down as well now for Stetman, and we have a bunch of Lings and Super Gary. They'll be more than happy to deal with this first set of harass waves for the first harvesting bot, because Super Gary reasonably strong. Just has to pay attention. They do tend to attack from slightly outside range. A little bit of a pullback as well to try and get a little bit more value out of his Silent Orbs, or whatever they're called. Egorbs, I think what they are called. It's actually been a while since I've casted the Stetman game, because Stetman not a very popular commander for various reasons, so it's actually kind of rare. I kind of forget what certain abilities are called for Stetman. It's just really rare to see a Stetman game. We can see that we have a lot of gateways coming down for Vorazun so far. So we have, in production, we have 2 more gateways, and we have a total of already 5 gateways for Vorazun, which means that we're going up to a 7 gateway Vorazun. Is he trying to actually wall off his bench? Another gateway coming down as well. I'm not really sure why. As far as production is going, I think Vorazun is going for the random upgrades. Some random upgrades getting researched here for Vorazun. Some cancellations as well. We have Shadow Fury and we have Blink for the Dark Templar. Nope. Vorazun's not sure what they want to do. They queued up the Shadow Fury. They queued up this upgrade, and so they're choosing to go for the Dark Archons, I think. And we have the Dark Oil upgrades for the Centurion as well. So I think Vorazun was somewhat confused as to what upgrades they want to go. I think they want to do a Dark Archon Centurion build, which is interesting to say the least. It's going to be a very difficult build to pull off, but it is definitely doable. There's no chrono on this, but there's unfortunately chrono on the Cybernetics core that's not researching anything, and we have 3 forges as well being produced by Vorazun. So Vorazun wants to go for the full attack upgrades as well, which probably are not a wise idea. We already have 3 Dark Archons being produced, 4th Dark Archon as well, and now these Archons are going to be moving into position. They actually work reasonably well when you have Stetman using the energy fields as well. So if Stetman uses the juice configuration, is that what it's called? Yeah, the juice configuration, then Vorazun can get a little bit of faster energy regeneration onto her Dark Archons. And see, these Dark Archons are going to be stealing some more units. Nope, they're just going to be auto-attacking the units instead. There's a lot of value to be earned by stealing Amon's army, but it requires you to actually steal Amon's army. So a few more heals as well here, and Super Gary will be more than happy to just try and just solo these small attack waves. These attack waves can't really do very much, and these Dark Archons are going to be sitting here at basically full energy, not really getting any value for... Are they going to start stealing some of Amon's units now? Are they? Nope, they're just going to be auto-attacking. Okay. They're going to be... they're actually just auto-attacking. They are not going to be stealing any of these. Like, one of these Dark Archons do get shelled by siege tanks in on the back line. These things have more than enough shields, so it's more than okay to just have them sitting on the back line there. We have the 3 forges out, but there's still no research out for Vorazun here. And now these Dark Archons are going to start pushing through. Can I just call them Darkons? I think that might be a little bit easier for me to pronounce. Just call them Darkons instead. A few more Steadlights coming out as well for Stedman. But yeah, that is actually kind of weird that these guys are just basically sitting here in cloak, not really getting any value. I can see why the Dark Pylon range upgrade was obtained, because it increases their energy regeneration. Again, the energy regeneration only applies if you are using the energy there. We have a bunch of Hydralisks now out for Stedman to deal with the air composition here. You can also go for Corruptors. Corruptors are a decent choice as well, dealing with some air compositions, but Hydralisks are fine as well. Hydralisk anti-air is reasonably decent. Dark Archons now slowly starting to push and using their energies to steal a unit, and of all the units that were stolen was a Raven, which Amon's Ravens are not really that great, which is somewhat unfortunate. A few more of these Centurions jumping into the front line here. 1 Banshee gets stolen, 2 Banshees end up getting stolen here for Vorazun. Still no stealing on the siege tanks or any of the other units, and Vorazun has enough energy to actually steal the rest of these units here. Vorazun seems to be making an active effort to not steal those units out, which is again really, really weird. What is going up now for Vorazun? Vorazun wants to do the bonus objective, I think. Vorazun is getting her army ray, has a bunch of Centurions with her stolen Raven, and I think that did the Banshee end up getting picked off as well? I think the Banshee got killed off by Amon's army, but Vorazun is having a look now, wants to see if she can start clearing out this main objective here. There is a Raven that casts a secret missile onto one of these Centurions. Centurions end up going down, but they are actually getting cloaked. And now Vorazun has stolen the 2nd Raven here. Is she going to steal some of the other units for Amon? There's a Banshee that's shelling away at one of these Dark Archons, and one of them already gets picked off as a result of that Banshee attack there. These Centurions jumping forward, stunning some of these units. Centurions are reasonably decent when it comes to dealing with mech units. They do end up stunning some of these siege tanks that are sitting in the back line, but there's still no stealing on any of these siege tanks from the back, and they are just shelling away at the rest of these units. Is this Banshee gonna get stolen? Is the Banshee gonna get stolen? No, the Banshee is gonna get auto-tanked dead. And what's interesting is that Vorazun has gone for the ground armor upgrade, but the Dark Archons only have 10 HP. Which means that your armor upgrades are only going to be applied to that 10 HP of damage. And if your Archon is sitting at no shields and only at 10 HP, you're probably not going to get any value. And that is not counting the fact that, you know, armor upgrades and shield upgrades are generally not very useful. That is the bonus objective done for Vorazun, completely leaving her ally out to dry over there. And we have now another warpen of Dark Archons and Centurions. And Vorazun is now... what is Vorazun going to be doing? Just getting her army pumped up and good to go. So far, Vorazun has lost, actually, 2 Dark Archons and 24 Centurions in that one engage. Kind of stings on the Dark Archons. Centurions are basically men-rolled up right now. You can see Vorazun doing reasonably okay in dealing with the mineral float that Vorazun normally has. So lots of Dark Archons now being warped in, and did another one get Yamato though? There we go. There's another Dark Archon dead, and all that is left now are a bunch of Centurions. Very few Centurions actually left behind, and Vorazun's Shadow Guard as well, dealing a little bit more damage to the enemy forces here. And now Vorazun has actually stolen a Battlecruiser, which is actually really good as well. It stops the Battlecruisers from Yamato in your face every now and then. It also means that you also have a Battlecruiser to Yamato into people's face. And you can see now the Stet Zone Satellite actually provides a very, very good buff to Vorazun's army. But Vorazun just moves out of the way of that Stet Zone to push into somewhere. Where is Vorazun wanting to push? He wants to push into the next area, I think. Which, again, good idea, but there's another Seeker Missile onto this Dark Archon, and our Dark Archon is not being moved back. And now a few more. We have a Thor stolen, we have a Raven stolen, and these two Banshees are just going to be dealing so much damage to Vorazun's army. Finally, the Banshees end up getting picked off. The Siege Tank getting so much value as well. Vorazun just losing a lot of Centurions in the process, and once they end up losing their Centurions, they have nothing to protect these Dark Archons, and this guy is moving a little bit too close to the front line here. And now there is a Dark Pylon again to try and cloak these units out, but another one gets, I think, emergency recalled back to the Nexus, which is okay. It does keep them alive, but I think Vorazun wants to go for this bonus objective, which may not be a wise idea because there is a lot of stuff there. And if Vorazun is not paying attention, she may end up losing her entire army in the process. That next bonus objective is actually really, really scary. So she has to be very, very careful with how she deals with this. And I don't know if Vorazun is well equipped to deal with this next bonus objective area using just Dark Archons and random Centurions in one Battlecruiser, because you can see this Hybrid is going to stand on the front line and it's just going to tank the rest of these units. And now the Liberators are going to start sieging up, and now Storms and Siege Tanks just shelling away at these Dark Archons. These things are getting so much value, and lots of Cloaked Banshees as well. One Battlecruiser does end up getting stolen, but not before this Hybrid Dominator ends up using its another Plasma Blast onto these Dark Archons, and now these Dark Archons are just going to get completely melted by the Banshees, by the Liberators. And again, they are sitting at full energy as well, so they are not actually being utilized to their maximum potential, and there's pretty much all of Vorazun's Dark Archons dead before they are able to actually clear out this bonus objective. These last set of Centurions are going to end up, I think, finishing off this bonus objective, but there were a lot of fatalities in the process, and that is basically 19 Dark Archons, and I think that other Centurions are also going to end up getting wiped here by these Banshees, but 19 Dark Archons and 65 Centurions has been thrown for, I think, 1,000 experience in the grand scheme of things, because I think the bonus objective gives you 2,000 experience, so each one gives you 1,000 there. So 1,000 experience out of your 45,000 experience was provided to you out of the courtesy of a total of 19 Dark Archons and 65 Centurions, and the rest of the random stuff as well. Vorazun not feeling too good about that, I do not think. She has lost a total of 17,000 resources in total as a result of that engage, and now there are a bunch of Banshees. Again, no cloak available, and does Vorazun even have, like, a... There is no Stargate here for Vorazun, which means she has no detection. If Stetman decides to pull away, she has nothing to stop the onslaught of damage from Amon's army, because she has no detection, and Amon's army will always have some Banshees right now, especially because they're dealing with the later sieges of the game and they're dealing with an air composition. So there's now another cloak here for Vorazun, which I guess is okay, but again, these Liberators are going to start sieging up and they're going to be dealing so much damage, and because they cannot attack the ground pylon here, they're going to be focus firing down this harvesting bot again, and they end up actually clearing this out reasonably okay. These Valcruisers are doing okay, and now Vorazun has decided to ditch the Dark Archons and just go for the Stalkers instead. Is Vorazun researching the upgrade for her Stalkers? No. So her Stalkers do not even have the Blink upgrade, which is, again, really an important upgrade. Vorazun relies on the Cloak for her to get the optimal kind of damage output from her units and the energy regeneration. So not being able to utilize her Cloak through the Stalker Blinks, which ends up regenerating their energies, is is very, very problematic for Vorazun because her army is going to basically be taking a hammering in the process of fighting Amon's army. And you can see we have the healing field available, and Vorazun wants to go and engage the attack wave, which is really brave of her. We're doing another warping of her Centurions here. And you can see that now there's actually a very nice black hole used, and this will end up clipping pretty much the whole of the attack wave. And Setman's Hydralisks are going to end up just completely melting the rest of Amon's army. And now we have some energy regeneration here to help Setman recharge his Hydralisk army. But yeah, there is still, is there going to be, yeah, there's absolutely no detection here for Vorazun. And just now, Vorazun is researching her Blink upgrade, which is again really important. But I think there's another upgrade that stacks on after you get the Blink upgrade, which allows her Stalkers to regenerate some shields as a result of their Blink. So that is again going to be one important upgrade here for Vorazun. Vorazun has already gone right up to level 3 upgrades all the way across. And we have one random Dark Archon that is added to the mix here. As long as this Dark Archon is being used for the mind control, which does not seem to be the general idea behind Vorazun's strategy, then it would actually be okay. But this Dark Archon right now ends up stealing a medevac, which is, again, I guess okay, but this medevac is not really going to be able to do very much in the grand scheme of things. And now we have a time stop. Was that the first time stop of the mission? I think it might have been the first time stop of this mission as well. I cannot recall the usage of a time stop. So that first time stop went down at the 23-minute mark, and these commanders will end up clearing out the rest of Amon's base. And I think reasonably okay here. They are dealing a little bit of damage. That siege tank, again, the siege tanks on the back line are dealing so much damage to Vorazun and Setman's army. And you can see Vorazun does end up blinking forward, but you can see just a large number of siege tanks are getting a lot of value for this. And I think these commanders are going to be okay. The total losses, 37 Hydralisks, 149 Zerglings, but that's okay, they're expendable. 19 Dark Archons and 67 of these Centurions. So far, nothing really much has been lost here for Vorazun. But again, Vorazun does not have Cloak, and if Setman is not paying attention, because this mission is pretty much going to be carried by Setman if Vorazun is not able to fight back against the Cloak units, they're dealing damage to her army. And these Battlecruisers sitting at full energy right now, not really utilizing the Yamato cannons. This Dark Archon sitting at pretty much full energy after he has stolen valuable medevac over here. The medevac is probably going to only be able to heal up these Centurions, and that is pretty much it. I don't think there are any other units in Vorazun's army that this medevac will be able to heal. And even combined with the fact that Setman is able to use his stat zones to heal pretty much every single unit. And the healing rate is reasonably decent. You can see here, the Battlecruiser regenerating HP so fast. And Setman's gonna go and engage this first attack wave without any problems to his army. Vorazun just basically waiting over here, which is a good idea. One thing you should not be doing is moving your army like to try and engage one small harass wave when your ally is already engaging. You can see now these liberators are going to siege up, and they're going to start attacking away at Vorazun's army. And Vorazun has basically cleared up pretty much everything except for the Banshees, because she does not have any Cloak. And these Banshees are going to get a little bit of value, and again they're going to start harassing this Dark Archon. Dark Archon is not really going to get, can't really do anything about this. And Vorazun basically just has to sit here and basically take the damage. And now there's going to be another attack wave that gets dropped. Setman is making his way over to try and help his ally, who is in battle right now against the Banshees here. And now Setman is providing the vision and is able to delete the rest of this army. Vorazun has lost 15 Stalkers right now, 69 nice Centurions, and now there's another attack wave that is moving towards this next wave of harvesting bots. One of the things about Setman is that his satellites mess up the AI, so you end up having these units moving in very, very odd directions because they end up aggroing the satellites instead. Vorazun jumping right into the middle of these liberation zones, and once you try and deal with this, these liberators are shelling away again. Vorazun losing a few more of her units over here. There are a few more Vikings here that she ends up clearing out as well. I think no more Banshees left over, I think. Yeah, I don't think there are any more Banshees left. And Vorazun now, I think she's lost another Dark Archon. Yeah, she's lost a total of 22 Dark Archons right now and 17 Stalkers in the engage. Wants to be next to her ally because her ally is able to provide her with the detection that she needs, because she, again, as of still, right now, still no Stargates in her production. But she does have an adequate number of gateways. She has 10 gateways down, which is, I guess, okay to a certain extent. Now she wants to go and engage this next attack wave. And I think Stetman now is very much going to be handling the rest of this mission. I think the next attack wave has spawned. Again, this attack wave is reasonably scary and decent. Now there is a recall here from Stetman. So Stetman will go and get ready to engage this attack wave. And this attack wave will be handled reasonably well. And there's a very nice black hole from Vorazun. And Vorazun will end up clearing out. So the ends up stealing this Battlecruiser, but no usage of the Battlecruiser's abilities. There are a lot of Yamato cannons that are available for Vorazun. She stole that Battlecruiser pretty much instantly. But again, that is the rest. That is this attack wave done. And now again, lots of Banshees over here, lots of Vikings, and a lot of Liberators here. And again, very nice black hole here from Vorazun. Vorazun finally utilizing her black holes to deal a little bit of damage to Amon's army, or at least help her ally deal a little bit of damage to Amon's army. But that is the last harass wave done, and that is the last harvesting bot as well cleared. And this guy is going to be making his way towards Setman's lab. Now, after a lot of carnage, total of 22 Dark Archons, 17 Stalkers, and 77 of the Centurions have given their lives to try and protect Setman's harvesting bots. But that is the last harvesting bot save, and that is GG.